Councilor Thompson.
Thank you. Through the chair, I wanted to state that I wasn't here at the meeting that council had approved this development, and if I was, I would have voted for it, and I've been in favor of it since the first time it came up. I do understand the fragile nature of developments in this economy, and we do need to have a united front. I do respect that anybody's decision to change their minds, but I do support this, and I believe it is something we need to do for the downtown. And people may not like the sale or the fact that it wasn't as transparent as other things, but this is something that this council is going to invest in this project, and to get revitalization in downtown and get our redevelopment plan kickstart this project was one of the main things. I did get complaints about it, and I did get positive feedback too. And I will state right now that I'm still in favor of this project, and I hope that Mr. McNally can find a way to do it.
Alderman Schneider.
I'll need more than the allotted 5 minutes. I'm going to go through a series of emails and through the decision items as they happen through our city. The question that Alderman Kelly was referring to as to who the alderman is, I think you outlined it in one of your emails to a citizen before it was made known to myself or any of the other councilmen. Just so that we're straight, I think everyone on this council backed that 100%. And we understand, you have your right to speak on it, but it was just kind of the timing of it kind of put it in a position that the mayor's the captain of the ship. And we look at that and we say, you are the chair, we're there to listen and hear what you guide and we'll follow. And we make decisions by that way. And when this came about, it threw Mr. McNally off, and the fact that I think when I spoke to him, I almost could feel like a resentment to the fact that he'd been betrayed, and I thought it was rather an odd thing. But as I started thinking about what went on this thing, it was a betrayal because we agreed to it, although you may not have. It was not at the time. But I want to go through the email that you had sent to a citizen, and one of the things that you had said in regards to myself making a deal with Mr. McNally. What happened at that time, when I said a deal was made, I was a part of that corporate service meeting. Peter Finley, corporate service manager, was instructed by us in council to make the deal. We told him, go do what you got to do. Let us make this deal. This is important to our downtown. We all agreed to that. Peter went and he put the deal together. And after it had been, I believe, twice had been thrown off track. And I'm not going to get into that side of it. I think we all know what went on there. But I think what my idea was at that point is that this did get off track, and it did get put back on track 3 times. And the time that I said to you that a deal was made, that deal was made, and Mr. McNally was happy to go ahead with it. And we, as a city, what we agreed to do with Mr. McNally through Peter Finley was done. It was complete. And we agreed to the 2 floors, we agreed to the dollar deal, and it was done at that. And that's where it was supposed to have left. As we move forward on the process, and I have throughout that, I've kept the minutes, because this deal was important to us, and I think it was after the first time that it went off track, I think there was Alderman White, myself, Alderman Kelly, Alderman Thompson, Alderman Fletcher, 5 or 6 of us. We met with Pat McNally, and we asked him, we don't want this thing off track. Let's, it went off track with Medican, and had it been this council at the time of Medican probably would have already had the building up. But the thing was, the time had gone on. We're in a situation here where we wanted that downtown development. That was an important asset to our downtown, and even at $1, it would collect what I think Mr. Bernard said, about $135,000 a year net taxes to the city. 5 years, we got our money back. 100 years, we collect taxes on it. So at that point, it was important to ensure that we kept the deal. So we all went out there, and I think it was Alderman Kelly said, "What is it going to take to make the deal?" And that's where it was. So I'll say with you in your email, I'm disappointed in that, but I'm not, it's just politics, let it be that. But you know what? Mr. McNally has done a lot of time, he spent a lot of money, we've agreed to it, we want to see it happen, and I think every effort should be made on our part to ensure that it does happen. And if he can't put it together, then let's put it back out there on an EOI. But in the meantime, I think, and I believe we said at one point, we as a council vote as one. You are the eyes and ears of council, and I've counted on that. And I would say at this point that it's important that once a decision's been made and that we as a council decide that's the direction we go, we support it and we move that way. If we're fighting it, we're going to get the public saying, you guys can't make decisions. Thanks.
Councilman Allen.
Thank you, Your Worship. I voted on this, and I voted for the dollar. I agreed with the sale for all the reasons that have been expressed. I do think that it was the right move. It would be good for the downtown core. I've had several people tell me that they thought it was a good idea. I haven't had anybody actually tell me it was not a good idea. So I can only assume that the people of Medicine Hat are quite satisfied with the decision that was made at council. It was unfortunate you were not there. You were then asked to speak on CBC and later on CJCY or chat. And I have to admire the fact that you stood up and stated what you felt. You had changed your mind, and that is your prerogative. This council does not always have to agree, and if the head honcho doesn't agree, then he has to stay that. I hope we're not going on a witch hunt. I personally am not going to start that. I think that what you've done is appropriate. You stated your piece and the way you felt, and since then have spoken with Mr. McNally in Cambridge, and you've come to a decision that you would support this project. I believe that was what was said in the papers, that you would support it, and or you support him in his endeavour to do this. Hopefully that's correct. If that is so, then I think we should move ahead and try to resurrect this thing, do the best we can to bring Mr. McNally back to the table, because it's not a council decision that he doesn't do it. It is his decision, and perhaps he could be upset by the one or two of the comments you made, which I personally did not hear, so I can't speak on them. But I will continue to support this, and I hope that it does come to fruition.
I'm ready to actually give a lot of comments, but I think you, from a legal point of view, you may want to say something. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, just a point of clarification is council has not approved this project in a public meeting as of yet. On July 6th, there was authorization given to advertise the proposal for $1 with the intention that it would come back on September 21st for council approval following the advertising process and petitioning period. That is a condition of the agreement that both parties have signed.